Tribe CEO and co-founder. All this week, NAB Show live crews have been scoping out the show floor, checking out notable products. Today, Anthony Estrico and team are talking to a director at SNL, a cutting-edge filmmaker, and from the past week. Yeah. Perfect. We specialize in that. Hey, look at that. I could take a selfie, NAB Show selfie. Nice. Good Thursday morning. It is the final day of NAB Show 2014 here in Las Vegas. It has been a power-packed week with big names in the industry, tons of new products to check out, and 98,000 of you. Over 98,000. Wow. Welcome to NAB Show Live, coming to you from NAB Show Studio 1, right in the heart of it all, here at the Las Vegas Convention Center. I am Rich DeMuro, been with you here all week long for NAB Show Live. We have a great show in store for you today to wrap up the week. But first, let's start with some highlights from the past 24 hours.
The moment is especially acute when it comes to news, right? The days of the grand pundits sitting up there on Mount Olympus telling us, and that's the way it is, are past. People don't want to be talked at anymore. They want to be talked with. They want to be part of the conversation. They want to have a seat at the table. And I think that this shift from presentation to participation is the key.
I think one of the biggest complaints that we've seen with modern technology is it isolates people, right? You're in this virtual world by yourself, and nothing replaces the interconnectivity and how you do that. Now, is family viewing, everybody sitting together in the living room, watching the same screen, it might not be that model. It might very well be that we all connect together watching our individual screens, but in eye view of each other, right? Through some sort of video conferencing technology.
In fact, there was a far higher rate of men speaking about rape and gang rape and violence than women reporting it. And that to me just said immense things about, the way society is set up, that, for a woman to report it, she then, becomes even more of a victim in a way.
Younger millennials in their teenage years, we know that they don't watch that much television, mostly because of the amount of time that they have. They're still out and about, and we've seen that over the history of television ratings. Once you get to your teenage years, you're busy. But with technology, now they are able to consume content, whereas if some of us that are Xers think about our teenage years, we didn't have the opportunity to consume content at the mall on our smartphones, on our devices.
To Michael's credit as a producer, like with the YouTube, with what we do and what a lot of online content does, is you make it, you get it done, you don't think about it, you just go. You just hit the ground running. You don't sit on an idea because someone else will.
The problem is right now, or not a problem, is that as digital is maturing, they are now asking for more windows. So if you go to any of these shops where you might try and sell your wares, they may say, that's great, we will, show your show, whatever it is, I don't know what you're producing, but then we also get the second and third window, which is where you used to take something in digital, because then you could get it back.
There's been some great sessions this week at NAB Show 2014. Now, this is a neat experience. At the studio experience in the South Upper Lobby, students are getting the experience of a lifetime. They're going hands-on with the latest technology and even producing their own reports. Today, they're playing with 4K.
This year at the 2014 NAB Show Studio Experience, powerful technology and stunning imagery come together for a 4K filmmaker showcase.
We're really showcasing just a wide range of content creation possibilities. We're talking about how people manage their content, get it distributed, and as part of that we thought, for many folks, the ultimate expression of their creativity is having their work shown on the big screen.
The showcase is taking place during the first 3 days of the convention. The event features narrative shorts, music videos, and a brief discussion with producers of the pictures.
All the projects are actually being produced in-house, so we do from pre-production to post, we do everything in the house.
They can play with it as much as they want, and they have the full power of a studio production that years ago you would have needed an entire team.
The pieces are shown through a Barco digital cinema projector, so the content can be seen how it's meant to be seen, in 4K.
Remastered in 4K recently because we shot it before 4K was even necessary, but we had the future proofing to finish it in 4K and get it out here.
The studio experience features a 30-foot screen and 5.1 surround sound system. The audience receives the royal treatment as they kick up their feet in reclining chairs and enjoy the showcase. Interviews, presentations, and the 4K Filmmaker Showcase are all streamed live on the Wasco.tv website. Reporting from the Studio Experience booth at the 2014 NAB Show, I'm Erica Jackson.
Great job reporting all week long from the Studio Experience, and now those students already have a resume tape. Sprocket launched at last year's NAB Show, and it's back again this year with even more startups. 27 companies were chosen for their potential to disrupt the industry. Now they're getting some valuable exposure to both NAB Show attendees and influencers in media and entertainment. Let's learn more about some of these companies from correspondent Rachel Kopchak.
For startup companies, Sprocket is the place to be for fostering innovation. Here's a look at what these startup companies are doing to change today's media world.
ShareRocket is a social media rating solution for the broadcast industry. We are launching here at NAB at the Sprocket Hub, and we bring the same approach to share-based metrics to social that Nielsen brought to broadcast and ComScore did to digital.
Ours is an emotion recognition technology, so our flagship product is EmoView. It's a software that reads people's facial microexpressions in real time as they watch videos on their computers or mobile devices using regular webcams. It's great for movie production companies, advertisers, or any type of media company that produces professionally content because it provides them with second-by-second analysis of how the content resonates with their audience.
Influence enables large broadcasters, carriers, retailers to be able to have a proper conversation with their consumers, a conversation that the consumer controls. The consumer controls it through what we call an autograph. An autograph is a 5,500 dimension profile. It takes them 30 seconds on their mobile phone to actually create the CPU of their lives. And that then allows those broadcasters and carriers to target content, advertising, offers to those consumers that is directly relevant to them. And we're able to even measure that relevance and tell them exactly which pieces of content are going to be how relevant to a given customer.
Panthera is an intelligent software portable solution. We essentially built an engine that enables streaming apps to allow their consumers to download content to mobile devices for offline viewing. No more being tethered to the internet when you want to watch your video.
Yeah, so Cloudflare is in the business of making the experience between a website and the visitor itself as fast as possible. And we fundamentally are rewriting the web to make it a better experience. We make websites twice as fast, and we make sure that it's only the right visitors visiting the site. So we take out all that bad traffic, and at the end of the day, we drop the latency, we drop bandwidth costs, and we make it just a safer, faster, more well-lit environment for the website.
WatchUp reinvents the way we watch the news with a personalized and multi-channel stream that lives on your iPad, Android tablet, Google Glass, and soon to other emerging screens. For video news publishers, it's a great way to better distribute their content in the age of the tablets, in the age of wearables, in the age of personalization.
If you want to learn more about Sprocket and how you can get involved for next year, just head to sprocketglory.com.
Thanks, Rachel. Some really interesting companies on display there. Now I'd like to introduce my first guest on today's show, Eli Abayan. He is the CEO and co-founder of eTribes. Thanks so much for being here.
Sure, thanks so much for having us.
Tell us, what does eTribes do?
So eTribes provide digital solution, digital umbrella for TV networks. We're working with companies like Fox, ITV, CMT, Viacom, like for providing digital with solutions for audience engagement, to interact with the audience from home and contestant and characters on TV, and TV production management.
So we've been hearing over and over that TV is no longer a one-way street. Broadcast as we know it is really become interactive. So what are they asking you to do? What do they want you to do with your technology?
Well, so we're learning how to work closely with the production companies and the producers of the show to interact and to embed the technology within what's happening on TV. So like, today the audience don't want just to watch the TV, they want to be part of the experience. That's where we are coming into the picture with the concept creation and providing what's the digital part of that will be with our technology that will interact with the contestant on TV, with what's happening with the show and the host, the judges.
So if I'm watching a game show, usually if I'm watching Jeopardy, I'm screaming out the answers. You could figure out a way where I can actually do something more meaningful during that game?
Sure, that's one thing during the show. But second screen is a big buzzword. But we found out that today the TV networks also want to leverage the brand, leverage the time that you as an audience from home engaging with the show. So we found ways also to engage you with the shows between the episodes and between seasons. So we extend, the brand and the engagement much more than just while it's on TV.
Yeah, so it's usually on for a half an hour, but you can extend that maybe all week long until I sit back on my couch.
Exactly.
How do you monetize all this? Can you monetize some of this that you're doing with the digital side of things?
Sure. We have a monetization layer. We got virtual currency. That's a very innovative thing we are doing. We took everything like a Facebook game, basically, with a lot of gamification with the activity, engaging with the audience from home. So like every day you get to the activity, you get credits. Every social activity you'll do, you get more credits, and you can buy credits with real money or do some advertisement activity that will generate us revenue, and we share it with the broadcasters. And all those credits, you can use them in the platform to do many things, many interaction, to vote, to buy virtual gifts for your favorite character on TV, and to buy from the online store of the show.
Buying them gifts?
Yeah, you're buying them gifts. You like them, you show some love, you send them virtual flowers.
Wow. So I know we're all watching TV with our tablets or phones. What sort of trends are you seeing in that second screen area?
So I think today, we can see that TV networks and producers are much more open to embed digital solution with the show. It's what's happening on the show. So I think that's a big thing that it was a challenge to convince them. Listen, you need to do something with the digital sphere also, not just traditional TV. And I think they're much more open to that today. So doing things over the digital sphere and moving on, to the next phase, which it's obvious that every TV network should be there.
Why come to NAB Show for eTribes?
For us, it's much of exposure and being part of the industry. So our clients and potential clients can know how to find us. They know that we are a young company growing, and we'll be here also next year. Also looking for collaboration with other technology companies. That's an important thing, and you get all the innovation here. So it's also an important thing for us.
Got to keep an eye on everyone, whether they might be a competitor or potentially a partner. Exactly. Elia Bayan, thank you so much, CEO and co-founder of eTribes. Great conversation there, and of course, trying to figure out that digital space on television. Okay, all this week, NAB Show Live crews, we've been sending them out to the show floor. They've been checking out the products that we think you should know about. Today, Anthony Estricco and team are talking to a director at SNL, a cutting-edge filmmaker, and much more.
Hey guys, welcome back to Hands On at NAB Show. It's been a crazy week from flying drones to talking to some of our favorite companies and getting our hands on all the cool new gear. It's been awesome, and we still have so much fun for you guys to check out, so enjoy.
I am here with Steve from Nikon. Tell me about what I have in my hands here.
Brand new pro product, the D4S camera. I am lately calling this sort of the quintessential multimedia photographer's camera. We've improved the ISO rating all the way up to a high end of 409,000. It'll shoot at 11 frames per second with full autofocus, or up to 12 frames per second with locked autofocus. We've now got 1080 60p.
Beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing. Who doesn't love heroic slow motion?
I'm getting to chat with Vincent Laforet. Vincent, what do you think of the show so far this year?
It's a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
A lot of new toys as usual. A lot of refinement. I really believe in focusing more on content and storytelling and how these tools can do that.
I am super pumped to be here with Alex Bono, Director of Photography for Saturday Night Live.
SNL Film Unit.
SNL Film Unit. What have you seen here that's awesome and that's going to help your workflow?
One of the things that I saw that I thought was really cool was the new, have you seen the new FreeFly Movi M5? Yep. It's phenomenal to see. And so it's made for DSLRs and smaller size cameras. You can still put a C100 in it, you can put a Blackmagic camera in it, and it really feels like dramatically lighter.
I'm here with Patrick from Adobe. He's a senior project manager. I saw the update where they were talking about the more integration between After Effects and Premiere, and I was like, yes, finally.
One of the things that gets me excited about Creative Cloud is that even though I might be really focused on one thing in particular, everything else is available to me. And if I'm collaborating with other people, I can see their work in context and bring it in and touch the pieces that I need to. Everything that used to be very exclusive is now available to everyone in the industry.
And everybody can use it, which is great. We are at B&H, and I'm here with Michelle. What are you guys showing?
We're showing a number of solutions, from entry-level camera equipment, which is really our bread and butter. This is a large section of our customer base, all the way to full-length 4K workflows.
Hey guys, Nora, Jared, have either of you seen Patrick? It's like day 4. He's on the roof. Have you seen him at all? No?
Can you zoom out? I'm over here editing.
Oh, hey, Patrick, you're so quiet. I didn't see you there. Good, keep up the great work. Thanks again for tuning in to our last episode of Hands On at NAB Show. We hope you had as much fun as we did. This is the place to be. We hope to see you next time. Hey, Rich, that was my clothes. I think you got to get back to the desk.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right.
it's not really that far from outside, but you know, I did have time to change in that time. Thanks, guys. Great, great segment as usual. You know, this is the 91st year that NAB Show has been happening. The industry has seen many changes along the way. Now we continue our look at the evolution of NAB Show. Whew. Rich DeMuro here, now joined with Stephen Lighthill. He is the cinematographer in residence at the American Film Institute Conservatory. Thanks for joining us.
You bet.
How many years have you been coming to the NAB Show, and what changes have you noticed in that time?
I've been coming several decades, and when I started coming, it really was broadcast-centric. It was really for TV stations, TV production, and now it's much more about general production of all kinds.
What type of evolution have you seen of the show floor in the years you've been attending?
I think every year it's reflective of the larger trends, obviously. I think the biggest trend that's really being showcased this year on the NAB show floor is the fact that the consumer is now a really big piece of the puzzle in content and in content generation and consumption. And so a lot of the solutions, the way the show is laid out, the themes, a lot of the discussions are all about solutions and processes that create content that will facilitate that two-way relationship now between content and the consumer.
As a consultant for Magid, what are some of the biggest questions you get from the people you work with?
You know, the one question, this sort of a broad question, is what do we do? That might seem kind of like a throwaway, but at the end of the day, you know, there's so many different options, so many new platforms, so many different places broadcasters can go. What do you do? How do you do it efficiently? Where's the best return on your investment? What does the consumer want? So we speak to a lot of those different things, but when we sit down in conversations at a place like NAB and sit down in a hotel room and just have a quiet conversation, it's typically, what do we do? You know, what do we need to do in digital? How can we continue to get people to watch our 5, 6, 11 o'clock newscasts? How do we get them to watch more in the morning? But at a broad level, it's what do we do?
Now I'd like to welcome to NAB Show Live Martin Sinclair. He is the developer for vMix, and earlier my producer Bob was telling me about your software, and his eyes were lighting up going over all these amazing features. What are you doing that's so cool?
Well, yeah, it's an affordable live production software that allows you to do TV broadcast quality output on any PC or laptop.
And what are you showing off new here at NAB Show 2014?
The two big things this year, along with a whole lot of other companies, is 4K. We're one of the first companies to do software-based live production in 4K, input and output, and also social media integration. So we had a lot of customers saying they want to bring in Twitter live feeds up as the lower thirds in their production. So we've enabled Twitter and Facebook right there, easy to moderate as well as live Twitter feeds.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty much a multi-million-dollar studio on your computer.
Yeah, that's right. So from the beginning, we try to make it as affordable and as accessible as possible so that a lot of this new media productions out there on the internet and podcasts, they want to be just as professional looking as the big TV stations. So we've been trying to just make the product as accessible as well as being feature rich is what the production studios are currently using.
Yeah, I was kind of going to ask you that. I mean, today's show may not use this tomorrow. They might for a portion of their show, but this opens up so many possibilities for content creators out there. What have you seen them using this for that wasn't possible, I don't know, 3 years ago?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different production scenarios, particularly with graphics and lower thirds and integrated titles, and the sort of things where a traditional podcast on a laptop would just be a webcam and perhaps one video clip. But now with vMix, with multiple different video sources and graphics and titles, they're really being able to integrate a whole lot of different sources that they couldn't in the past.
Now, I remember when I was in high school, we had, the production team. We had a video toaster. And when you can dissolve between one piece of video to the next on a tape, I thought that was amazing. This is a little bit better than that. Let's show off some of the different features that you want to explain to us today here.
Yeah, so I've got the latest version of vMix here just running on an ordinary laptop from Asus, but you can build a PC. We also have a lot of resellers and distributors that build complete production systems, but it's the traditional live production setup, and we've added a whole lot of extra features on there to sort of bridge the gap between TV production and podcasters. So, you know, the preview and the program windows over there on the top, and then all your sources down at the bottom of the window. So in a traditional broadcast scenario, you might have a DDR or a GFX bus and all these different separations of content. What we found with podcasters all the way up to the professional is they want all their inputs in one place. So along the bottom row here, you can have your cameras side by side with your graphics, with your videos or DDRs, and your lower thirds.
And what does it take to learn this system? How long does it take for someone to really become an expert in this?
Well, we have a demo video on our website, and it's 20 minutes from end to end on how you can get started with your cameras all the way to streaming live on the web.
Wow. And how do I incorporate this into, say, if I want to stream this out to the internet? You can handle that as well?
Yeah, so we support a whole variety of different CDNs, such as YouTube Live and Ustream. So there's a whole lot of different streaming providers out there, and we've been talking to a lot of them this year at NAB, and we work with pretty much all of them.
And what's been the reaction from folks here at NAB Show when they see the power of this program?
Well, what they've been most impressed by, I think, is the price. I mean, our top-of-the-line 4K live production software is $630 US.
$630?
Yeah, so that's for the software, and then you can see all these different vendors here at the show having affordable hardware to go alongside it. So it's a TV broadcast truck, really, for a few $1,000s is what's possible with vMix.
What do you make of all this, Martin? The fact that people can now get into a high-quality production for less money than they ever have imagined before.
I think it's, you know, it's amazing, a way of democratizing, you know, live production and video where everyone can pretty much create their own TV channel now. And there's a whole lot of different, you know, new media options out there on the internet. I think it's great to see a whole lot more content out there from just the ordinary user.
And not just content, but because, you know, we see a lot of content, but content that looks really good. And you're saying, how the heck did they do that in their basement? You know, how did they make that look so good?
Yeah, and it's a great thing as well. If the production quality is there and it's really high and up to the standards of TV stations, it also helps their exposure and their awareness, and so their content is going out to a lot more people because people are looking and going, well, this is just like what I'm seeing on TV.
Have you enjoyed your time at NAB Show this year?
Yeah, NAB is the one event. I mean, we're from Australia, but we just love coming here every year because we just find it's a truly international event. We can meet customers from all around the world.
All right, Martin Sinclair, developer for vMix, thanks so much for joining us here today. You've got some great software there. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Okay, now if you haven't noticed, this year's show floor, just slightly larger and more to see than last year. In fact, there are over 200 companies exhibiting for the very first time. Let's take a look at some of the new additions to the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Basulto, CEO of iOgrapher.com. It's our first year here at the NAB Show. We're really excited to be here. We're showing off our models of iOgrapher. It's a mobile media case for the iPhone, iPad, iPad mini, and iPad Air. And at the show, we're actually showing the iPhone 5 and 5S version. People have been going crazy and pre-ordering it. The iOgrapher is a case that lets you turn your iPad or iPhone into a full camera. And you can add lenses, lights, microphones, put it on tripods, and it gives you a lot of stability instead of that shaky footage that we all hate. So we'd love to have you come and visit us. We're at SL 3630, and thanks for coming.
I'm Lloyd.
I'm Val. And I'm Satya.
Last year we sponsored the Media Motion Ball. Val was like, we should take this up a notch. It's our first booth, so it's like got a nice.
It's like your first party, in fact.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it to be that huge. I was thinking more like a big hall, but this thing is like huge. Like they have like multiple buildings and like halls. It's huge. That's what I didn't expect it to be.
The other reason we did this is because we had the opportunity to be here in the Plug-in Pavilion. So I think that's a huge thing because you can't expect to draw that many people on your own, but in this group of all these basically similar companies that we're providing similar solutions, it's a great opportunity to be in that company and be part of that.
Hi, I'm Michael Accardi from QScript. QScript is a new prompting company that we launched this year, and we have our first displays at NAB. This is our first NAB show, and we chose NAB as our launch site. With a broadcast product like ours, we felt there was no other place to be launching this product line. For a new company like QScript, we're interested in customers, of course, but we're also able to find our distributors here, our agents here, and our partner companies here. It's an environment where we have all the best of the industry in one place, and it gives us an opportunity that we get nowhere else. As a first-time exhibitor, we were quite concerned about the traffic we get at the QScript booth, but we have been extremely pleasantly surprised in the amount of people we've been able to draw coming to us at the NAB. It's been a great experience and a great place for us to launch. And if you're not able to come by, please take a look on the web, www.qscript.tv. Thank you.
I'm Rick Bowman with Go Professional Cases and Caseman Incorporated. This is the first year that we've exhibited, and we brought on the GoPro cases a couple of years ago and had a great deal of success with it. The reason that we got a booth this year was because of the copter market. We knew that it would be a big item here at the show. We have had tremendous success with over 30 different cases that we make for a variety of copters. We have 9 versions just for the DJI Phantom because of the versions and the different accessories that come with those particular cases. We're in booth 820 outside, and if you can't visit us there, please visit our website at goprocases.com.
So much to see with over 1,500 companies exhibiting their products here at NAB Show. You want to stand out to get noticed. The ACE Awards, awesome, cool exhibits, recognize NAB Show exhibitors for their innovations in booth design and execution. And the winners are... The Awesome Cool Exhibit Awards, or ACE, were presented by former Las Vegas Mayor Oscar Goodman and NAB's Chris Brown. Corning won for linear. They used their optical cables to draw attention. Deck Tech won for small. They made great use of their space with a warm, inviting design. Codex won for medium, with their set inspired by a Hollywood backlot. Teradek won for large. You couldn't miss them. They had an eye-catching fish tank design. Trying to figure out whose set is better, Teradek's or ours. They had such a cool space there in the center of the floor. Okay, now you guys have been talking a lot about NAB Show online. We're going to go to social media correspondent Carrie Farnick for more on what you're talking about and what the industry is talking about in social media.
That's right, Rich. There's no doubt that there are some best practices out there, and we're joined now by Elisa Defoe, who's with Social News Desk, and Elisa knows both sides of this. You're a former broadcaster, now a company in social media. Talk to us about best practices that broadcasters are using, television and radio.
Sure, absolutely. We work with a lot of TV stations, and one of the things that I can say with all my heart is that the key to it is having strategy. So whether you're choosing to use a tool that's out there that makes it easier and organizes it for you, I mean, it's a vast space, and really the number one thing is come up with a strategy. Write down your goals, decide what you're going to do if your goal is to get more likes, get more engagement, get more people to your website. That's really key in determining how well you're going to do as a broadcaster in the social media space.
All right, and the number one question probably is how to monetize. Tell us how broadcasters are using social to monetize and to generate revenue.
Absolutely. They're getting very creative at this point. I mean, it depends on who you're working with and whether they're okay with doing things like sponsored posts. We work with a lot of clients on getting contests sponsored, so that's kind of hot right now on Facebook and Twitter, where you have something to give away, you find a sponsor, you figure out what they want to pay, what they're willing to pay for the eyes that you have on their Facebook page to help grow your own Facebook page or Twitter following. And we're watching a lot of stations really be successful in that space and make a lot of money.
And it also has to be efficient, right? I know Social News Desk takes like all the social tools and sort of combines it into one, which is key because broadcasters are dealing with so much. Tell us how they can avoid overload, if you will.
Yeah, I think that newsroom settings especially are very unique places where you have a lot of people trying to reach one goal. They need to be consistent. They need to be strategic. So using something like the dashboard that we provide really helps just get them on the same page. It's like if you work on a rundown and you're producing a newscast, everybody knows what everybody's doing. Similar concept, we're just putting it in the social media space.
Fantastic. Elisa, thanks so much. We're interested in finding out just how many impressions we have. Rich, back to you.
Okay, let's take a look at the numbers now and see how many of you have been tweeting, Facebooking, Instagramming, and talking about the show. 38 million reach. Wow, that's a lot for NAB Show. A lot of you have been using that hashtag NAB Show as well. 243 million impressions online, 28,588 tweets. And let's see the Instagram, 6,722. That's a whole lot of selfies. All right, guess what? That's going to do it for NAB Show 2014. Can you believe it? Man, what a week it's been here in Las Vegas. Thanks to all the many teams of people who make this live show possible. Personally, I'd like to thank the folks at NAB Show, Michelle and Donna, for having me on board for a second year here at NAB Show Live. Mark your calendar. It's not over just yet. Next year's NAB Show happens April 11th through 16th right here in Las Vegas. Until then, I'm Rich DeMuro. Have a great day. We're going to leave you with some excellent moments from the week that went by.
Broadcasting, who will carry out the public's interest mandates of diversity and localism?
The greatest thing that ever happened in my life is a direct result of the NAB, and I'll forever be grateful to you. That's true.